Good morning, Likoutey Moharan Zayin, Tinyana. We're in Ot Yud still. We're in the second column of Ot Yud. Everybody has it? The Tzaddik is working with Darimale Darimata. He's working with all of Am Yisrael. Without this, you are not Tzaddik Klal. Without this avoida, you're not called a Tzaddik. You could be called a good Jew. But the Tzaddik, that's Meyached Shamayim Va'aretz, he has to be dealing with people on all levels. And each person on all levels, he has to know how to deal with them when and what to tell them. If you're doing good, he pushes you away. If you're far, he brings you close. Then if you have this type of tzaddik, and therefore you have yirat shamayim, in the time where you're eating, there's mitgale what's called he'arat haratzon. And Rabbeinu called this a tremendous desire to Hashem that you don't even know mahu rotzeh. This is specifically at the time of eating. And yesterday we spoke about the grandson of Rabbeinu, how he used to eat. And we said that Hasidim Breslev say everybody can do this on his own. Let's just speak about this for 2 minutes. Eating is not a vacation. Eating is not a downtime. Eating is not, I went to Shachit, I went to the mikveh, I learned my shiur, and now let me eat. Fres. Fres is like, kifeh. Now it's the time for kifeh. No. Now it's the time to cash in. Now it's the time to cash the check. Now it's the time to translate everything you've done into kisufim and gagugim and retzunot to Hashem. And this is very hard. We are pigumim in our relationship with the world. We have trouble elevating this world for Hashem. We have once you decide to pray and to learn, that's one thing. But to go out into the physical world and elevate that, it's a lot of work. Shat achila, shat milchama. When you're coming to eat, you are at war. And if you don't prepare a war, you will lose the battle. If you don't make a conscious decision how you want to eat, you will not eat properly. If you don't think about this and make a plan before you sit at the table, you will eat in a way like everybody else eats. You are surrounded by people who their whole life is about eating. The grocery store over here tells you, la vie c'est la bouffe. That's their slogan. Life is food. Life is food? No, life is not food. But the food can bring you to the greatest levels of desire to Hashem. Like we said yesterday, that the first thing you want to satisfy is the stomach. And it's very hard to get away from it because when you're a kid, that's the first thing you're exposed to. The first tava is the milk of the mother. Want it. The kids, candies, cakes, all the junk that they have today. And today, the world didn't make it easier. Back then, food, before you got something good, the Rav Zatzal told us, that if his father, Rav Gedalia Zatzal, would bring an apple home for Shabbos as a dessert, and each kid gets a slice of the apple, it was me'en olam haba. An apple. When's the last time you had an apple? Even though apple's a good thing to eat. Good for you. It should be a long, healthy life. But when you go to the grocery store, what they're giving to the kids today, it's impossible to stop it. So the kids get hooked on this thing right away from a young age. Also, the way of eating, which is presented around the world. Restaurants, maybe it's convenient, but it's not what it used to be. Every day there were different restaurants, every day a different delivery, every day a different menu. Didn't exist. The people made their life around eating. Everything is, what's the next meal? What's the next gishmak? What's the next sauce? The tzaddikim, the opposite. Rabbeinu used to eat at the tip of his teeth when he was a child. When he was a child, not to enjoy that you need energy, but it's hard to get the energy and not have the pleasure. It's a real fight. Because you can't fast all day. You can't do that. So you need to eat. But how do you eat? And that's where the war is. That's where the fight is. So if you know what we know now, that this moment actually, if you think about it, you are completely dependent on God. Every ounce of vitality that you have is coming from the food you eat. But there's energy inside of it. The energy, the life force, the holiness, God's dibur that's creating the food is what's giving you the spiritual vitality as well. The tzaddikim could eat very little because they were able to take off the klipa and get the life source inside the food. So if you know that, and you know that you have everything what to gain, because don't forget, all of your success in Avodat Hashem will depend on what you want. If you don't know what you want, if you don't want to serve Avodat Hashem, take any bacher in yeshiva. If he doesn't want to be there, it's ginam. What's greater, a bacher in the yeshiva that's just dying to be in Manhattan, or the guy in the office in Manhattan that's dying to be in the yeshiva? I take the guy in the office. That guy in the office, that he's able to learn half an hour in the morning and half an hour at night, and he's begging to Hashem that he could have more time, and he travels, and he supports the kola, he loves the rabbis. Yeah, he can't learn as much as he would like to. But you take a guy, you force feed him the Gemara, he just wants to run away, and then what do you win afterwards? But if he would have desire, even though he can't, because it's hard, right? You go in the yeshiva, and it's before you get the taste of the Gemara, before you get the taste of the halacha, it's a lot of work at the beginning. Man, when I was in yeshiva the first years, it was really hard. It was not satisfying. You would look for, you go through the Gemara shirim and everything, but it's breaking the teeth, and anytime there's something else, we wanted to serve Hashem, so we went to yeshiva. But, okay, this is part, so I'm doing it. But I got to be really committed to Hashem to learn the Gemara, because there's not a lot of satisfaction at the beginning. So anytime there's a wedding, or there's a seudah, or a yortzeit, or kibbutz tzadikim, the bachrim jump on that, because there you feel the chiyut, and I don't feel the chiyut here. But if you break through 1 or 2 years, and you get the language, and you get the words, and you get the system, that's it, smooth sailing. There is an investment at the beginning. But the boy doesn't have that desire for Hashem yet. The boy has the desire for Hashem, he knows that this is part of it, so you're going to break through. But if he doesn't have that desire, so how do you get him? What are you going to do with him? You're feeding him something he doesn't, it's bitter for him. So, but if you knew the secret of wanting Hashem, I want Hashem, okay, what do we have to do? Here, do this mitzvah, take this etrog, go help this guy, go dance at a wedding for a kala. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it, because I want Hashem. So now, whatever the rabbis say, I'm in. But if you don't want Hashem, if you don't want the Kedusha, you don't want all these things, so give him the best book, the best musar, it's not going to help him, because he doesn't have the Ratzon inside him. Now, us too as well, are we riding on old fumes? Are we on autopilot of our Ritzonot? Which is okay. Are we on autopilot? I once had a fire for Hashem. And I made my routine of coming to shul, going to learn, doing all these things. But I'm in a routine, which is a great routine, not taking away anything from that. But do I still have the same fire that I had once, which many times was a freebie? Many times that fire that you got was just a gift to get you started. And so I could cool down in Meritzonot, and even though I go through the motions, it's without the fire, without the bren. And if it's without the bren, it's hard to give it to the kids. So without the enthusiasm, the kids don't get it. We're talking about making talmidim over here, right? You got to hear from the tzaddik. You got to get kedusha. And when you're full maleh v'gadush, explain that a rebbe, in order to be a good rebbe, how do you be a good rebbe? You got to pour. They stack up those cups of champagne at the weddings and stuff like that, and they pour a bottle on the top when it overfills to all the bottles. That has to be a rebbe. One of the gedolim said that. That's mechanech. If you're burnt out in your avodat Hashem, but you know how to learn, don't become a teacher. A teacher is not successful from his knowledge, his information. It's from his contagious ritzonot that he loves the Torah, that he's giving it over. I'd much rather have, I know a rebbe, I know a few Talmidei Chachamim that are teachers. Rebbe, I know one, he's great lamdan. But I didn't see that he's able to make Talmidim. And the other one is less of a lamdan, but he has a fire for Hashem. He could cry when he's speaking about Hashem. And the kids around him love him and they want to become tzaddikim. When you are full with ritzonot, you're going to spill it over to the next people around you. If we're saying that this Torah is about making talmidim and making children, and that's the tachlit, so it's a cycle, huh? The Likoutey is a circle. Don't forget, I told you many times. We're getting to the end, you got to go back to the beginning. We're at the end now, almost at the end. Right away back to the beginning. The job is, if you hear from the tzaddik that he has yirat shamayim, kol mi sheresh lo yirat shamayim dvarav nishmayim, kol shechokmato, kol sheyirat cheto kodem lichokmato mitkayemet. So you heard from him, because he heard from Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu heard from Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu gave it to Yeshua. Yeshua gave it to Skinim all the way down to Rabbeinu. Rabbeinu, you heard from Rabbeinu, or the Talmud, or Rav Nosson, or whichever Rav you have connected to Rabbeinu. You heard from him. He got it from a source. It goes into you. What is going into you? That fire. Now the tzaddik also has to know how to do with you. When you're going good, hey, come down. You have a lot way to go. And where you're down, he's going to pick you up. Without that, he's not tzaddik. But he's giving all over that to you, always with this ritzonot de kedusha. Now, when do they translate? When do you cash in on that? In the time of eating. So if you know the sod of ratzon, which Rabbi Natan in our Torah is going to say, that all of our Avodat Hashem today is ratzon. Because how much can you really do? We're all that guy in Manhattan office that wants to serve Hashem. We're all that guy. Even if you're learning all day and praying all day. We can't really do what they used to do. So you have ritzonot chazakot inside of you. That's the best. You made it. That's the highest level. That's keter, by the way. That's the highest way you can serve Hashem. You can't know a person's level because you don't know how much he wants inside of him. You can never know a person's level. And so if you know that at the time of eating you cash this check, make a plan how you want to eat. Make a plan. And we're so rushing. I'll tell you what our problem is.
So what's the way to? What's the plan?
I'll tell you. But I want to tell you, the plan is to eat slowly. Simply put, the plan is le'at le'at matun matun. But we're all on overdrive right now. This world, it wasn't like this before. You used to walk places. You had time to think. There was Rav Dessler once. He was with a Talmud. I think the Rosh Yeshiva of Toronto. This story is, you got to remember this story. You got to internalize this story. And I'm the first one that needs to internalize it. Because I have so many things to do, I'm sure like all of us, and in mitzvot, that we want to rush to the next mitzvah. But the tzaddikim, even though they have a mitzvah zrizut, they're slow. Rav Kenning was slow. But he did so much. Everything was le'at. He would speak to you. Everything is slow. You think he has all the time in the world. But he was able to speak to many, many people. Because he focused. He was focused on what he was doing, so he really got it done. You could do things fast and not getting anything done. So they're walking in the subway to go to the metro. And you ever went to the metro? When I was a teenager, I used to go in the metro. You know the doors are going to close? You can catch it. What do? All of us, what will we do? Run! So the Talmud is going to run. And Rav Dessler, Gadol of the Bari Musaf, who is Baki in Divrei Rabbeinu, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Baki.
Really?
The Strive for Truth over there, the Michtam Eliyahu, look at Mari Mikamot, many, many times Likoutey Moharan. He brought the Likoutey Moharan in the Musaf to the Litvish.
Wow.
He was very special.
And there's like Litvish all the way.
No, he has all the Tanya and Likoutey Moharan in his pocket.
No way.
Sure. That's why they're very mechazek, those books. It's good to learn it. Michtam Eliyahu must. Now, we have Likoutey Moharan and we're busy with that, but he was speaking like, he was in a certain world, but he incorporated it in. Anyways, and his Rav caught him. Rav Dessler, hold him. No, we're going to take the next one. Don't rush. Because what happens when you rush to the train? You lose yourself. You lose your mind. You lose your yeshuva dat. And imagine somebody bumps you. And then you're going to get mad at him. And then you get mad at him, and he answers back to you. Now you made a chilul Hashem. Now you're going home upset. Now you get home upset. You're not smiling at your wife. You're not smiling at your wife. What's wrong with me? Now now the energy in the house is not good, and the kids feel it, and the kids start acting up, and then they get trouble in school, and all the ripple effect from you running to the metro. And we know it's all true. But if you would walk slowly, I'm with Hashem. There's Ashkach over here. I missed the train. What's going to come out great of that? What yeshuva dat is going to? What Hashkacha is going to be? And what keep in the Rav? You know that. I don't know if I should say this, but I drive a bit fast. Not fast, but limit, and like everybody else, you drive at 50 over here, you drive at 60. Come on.
Now 50,
Why?
because I used to drive at 80.
Anyways, why? Because I have a lot of what to do. We gotta get to another shiur, another mitzvah, help another person, get another donation, open another kollel. We got what to do. But the Rav, when I was with the Rav, I could not drive fast. When I was driving the Rav, I couldn't drive fast. Because everything about the Rav was liat, 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 liat. He walked slow. He spoke slow. But everything was fast, much faster than me. Much faster. Because he was always b'shuv adat. When he would speak to you 5 minutes, he solved your problem in 5 minutes. A guy's rushing to get out of the conversation to speak to the next guy. What does it help you? It doesn't help you a thing. He's not helping you. And we're all that. Because we're all not living the moment. Why do you want to eat fast? Because I got to get to the shiur. I got to get to the next sugya. No, this is a sugya. The eating is a sugya. There's light in the food. Take it seriously. It's not wasting time. If you would approach the food like you would approach shofar, like you would approach your matzah, like your lulav, like your tefillin, that's every meal. That's why Hashem made them every day. So the solution, Rabbi David, step 1, le'at, le'at when you're eating. And Rabbeinu speaks about that, huh? Rabbeinu speaks about not to eat quickly. And Rabbeinu speaks in another place that everybody has to have tsar b'kol yom. I have to find the word is. I think it's Sefer Midot. That every day, a person has a measure of difficulty they goes through. And one of the way to mamtik the difficulties that you have during the day is to eat slowly. Eat slowly is step number 1. Where do we see it from? From Rabbeinu's grandson. Put down the fork between things. Do an exercise. When you're eating your next bite, chew it to the point where you really make it feel liquid. And put down your fork. Put down your spoon. And between, by the way, this is halakha, I'm going to show you in Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah says that you should have the amount of time between one bite and another bite is the amount of time that it takes you to chew the first bite. Can you imagine how slow the meal is? And can you imagine how small quantity you need to eat? Because you don't have a lot of, because it's going to take you an hour. And you're actually going to be healthier because you're eating less. And you're going to actually tap in. Now you're tapping into what you're doing. I'm a creature. God created me. He created my needs. He's fulfilling my needs. He gave me this piece of bread. He gave me this cucumber. He gave me this piece of apple. It's a miracle. And it's giving me sustenance. And he put inside of it taste. And the taste is gishmak. And the Kabbalah and the Tzaddik, they know which tastes according to which sfirot. And they know what they're eating in the spiritual worlds. So, if you want to start doing this, you might not get to what Rabbeinu is saying here because you need a schut. But if you just want to start this avodah, and maybe if it's too much for you to do all the time because we're all in overdrive, do it once a day. Do it once a week. Do it for 10 minutes. Because it's to do this, to go from 0 to 100, you're not going to make it. But if you just want to start doing this, start taking certain planned meals where you will eat slowly the meal, you will chew slowly, and while you're chewing, don't talk. And misichim b'seudah, you're not supposed to talk. By the Rav, there was no talking at the meal, never. Never. We always think that we have to entertain people. I gotta make sure that there's no downtime, and I gotta make sure that I'm talking to you, because otherwise it's gonna be awkward. Who said it has to be awkward? We're connecting now. And we knew that with the Rav, we felt it. And I have to remind myself these things because it was so clear that at the Suda nobody's talking. At the end, when you ate properly, the Divrei Torah, the Mizmor LeDavid that it was bringing you to an ecstasy. So, step 1, plan a meal where you'll eat slow, and while you're chewing, think about God. Think about the good that He's done for you. Think about that you exist. Think about He's feeding you. He's giving you this food. Think about that guy in the tunnel that had a quarter of a pita every day on the floor in a cage with chains for 2 years. And you're eating at your table like a king, like a melech. Do it slow, and I promise you, your Birkat HaMazon will be different. I promise you your bracha achona will be different. I promise you the energy that you're going to get from it is going to be a pure energy that when you're going to come to pray, your mind is going to be in the prayer. When you come to learn, your mind is going to be in the learning. When you're going to be speaking to people, you're going to be there, because that is the gas you're putting in. The Rabbi tells us all the time. What gas are you putting in the stomach? That's the performance of the vehicle after. So if you put it in a holy way, you're getting ritzonot kisufim and en davar omed lifnei ratzon. Whatever you want, you will accomplish. You can accomplish anything, but you don't want it enough. How do you want it? Eat slow. Eat healthy. Eat with kavanah. If you can't do it all the time, start. Try it once a week. Do one meal a week like that. You're going to have such a satisfaction from it, you're going to do it more times. And if you keep doing it enough, you're going to get to huge levels in Avodat Hashem. Baruch to you.
Exactly.